So the workup that you'll be going through at the office is going to involve number one, the health history form. Now, the health history form you can download from the link below, print it out, fill it out, and take it in with you when you go into the clinic. Your coach or the doctor will review that information with you and make sure that some of the possible risks or contraindications for doing the ideal protein protocol aren't present in your history, or if they are, that or there's a question, that the clinic can work with your own prescribing or treating physician to make sure that it's okay and that they're comfortable with you proceeding with the treatment. So one of the things you're going to do at the clinic is to be sure to go through that whole review and make sure that there's not a problem with you getting started on the ideal protein program. Now, in addition to that, what's going to be necessary is we're going to want to establish a baseline starting point. So it's going to involve getting a body weight, getting the body fat percentage ideally on that, and looking at measurements typically of the chest, of the waist, of the hips, of the thigh, and of the upper arm, in order to have the ability to track from week to week. Because as we track week to week, the body doesn't necessarily go in a smooth straight line as far as the scales just showing the same weight loss week after week. The body seems to be focused in this area or that area, and sometimes you'll see it better in the change in the measurements, circumferential measurements of the body, as opposed to necessarily in the scale on this week or that week. So that kind of fits and starts process you're able to track by having more than one thing to be looking at. Another thing that's going to be done is to get a photograph so that we have a before photograph of you that you can then take a look at. One of the things we find is that it's easy to forget sort of where I started. And if I look in the mirror day after day after day, even though over time I've changed quite a bit, my memory is only remembering the things I see in the mirror just recently, and to be able to look back and say, wow, okay, I really have made a lot of progress. I can hang in there and keep moving forward. The before photograph is really helpful for you to have that. So in the process at the clinic, we're going to establish all of these baseline things, make sure that you're on track for health-wise, that it's appropriate for you to be on the diet, answer the questions that you have specific to you, and then get you set up with the supplies that you need to get going.